I completed another series with these Gold Artisan Theory 11 cards, but I imagine you'd probably want to hear more about this. So my pal Silver Britches had a question that did not make my Q&A video. He asked if I had a white whale gold purchase in mind, kind of a quest coin. And I thought about that one for a little while, and I think what I started to realize is that I buy within a pretty narrow band. I buy within the bell of the popularity curve. Now, I'll pay a little bit more for a coin that I really like if I'm getting it direct, or if I'm getting it for the price that's comparable, but I won't pay a secondary market price to somebody else who bagged that white whale for me. And really, I guess what that means is that I don't play in the collector market, and I really don't dwell much on hard-to-find gold coins. Now, this one is probably the only gold purchase that I've obsessed over for any amount of time. It's the 2018 1-ounce Dragon Phoenix, and this is part of the Chinese Myths and Legends series from the Perth Mint. Now, I already had a few of those, and I wanted to finish the series, so that had a lot to do with it. And I had this one locked down within a few weeks, so there really wasn't any extended chase. Libertads come up a lot, specifically reverse proof Libertads, but they're an odd diameter, and I don't think that they're impressive enough to warrant the price over spot, considering the main driver of that price is simply that Mexico does not produce very many of them. And I won't argue that they're nice. I have some silver Libertads and they're a great looking coin. And I've seen the gold coins and they're even nicer. They're a gorgeous coin that I'd be more than happy to own, but I won't obsess over something that I have to pay 50% premium on. High relief American Liberty gold coins are another really good example for me. The Mint sells these direct with 50% premium. So right now they're going for $2,700. But I bought this one from a local dealer at 6% premium because the local coin shops, they're willing to pay even less than I am. So they gave spot to the person who paid 50% over, sold it to me at 6%. That has a lot to do with why I buy what I do. Now, these coins are released every other year, and the 2021 American Liberty will be a bucking horse. And I might buy that one even at the crazy premium, but I'll buy it without really giving it any added value. And what I mean by that is that when I calculate what I have in gold, I calculate in ounces, and that $2,700 gold coin is still only one more ounce in the vault. So a white whale purchase to me, the kind of thing that will always seem to just slip away right when I think I might bag it, isn't a particular gold coin that's hard to find or has limited mintage or it's overpriced direct from the mint. It's something bigger. It's a larger bar, a 10-ounce bar, maybe even a 100-gram bar. Now, that's not something that I obsess over or anything that I'd pay more to get. It just happens to be the form factor that comes to mind often that I've never grabbed. The goal that I'm chasing is more about weight rather than any specific interesting or pretty coin, and I just love to be buying gold at a higher level, at a 10-ounce or 100-gram level. Now, just to ground this conversation a bit, I bought a 1/4 ounce gold coin a month for many years, and it added up fast. Now, the larger bars have always seemed like something that you'd have to be very serious about to buy. But a year of those 1/4 ounce purchases every month comes to 3 ounces of gold at the end of the year. And a 100-gram bar is just over that. It's 3.15 troy ounces. So it would have been a comparable amount. And with the lower premiums on those larger bars, I could have bought a 100-gram bar each of those years, saved money, and accumulated more weight. So two things come to mind on that idea. The first is the idea of an exit plan for that gold. And if you consider the seller market for 1/4 ounce American Gold Eagles versus a 100-gram bar, you have far more buyers for Eagles in any size, but particularly for 1/4 ounce, than you do for gold bars, whether that's 100-gram, 10-ounce, or really any size gold bar. And even though I've mentioned that my goal is to accumulate weight here, I also want to make sure that I'm buying what's easiest to sell. And gold is not gold on that side of the ownership spectrum. I did see something on Reddit that made me reconsider how I think about that gold is gold idea, though. There was a user, Axelon900, who described gold is gold as the idea that there's a floor on how low the offer price will be relative to spot. And I think that that's a great way of framing this. Now, I'm not going to go too far outside that bell of the popularity curve because I want to make sure that there are buyers when I go to sell. But if I already have popular coins and easy to sell sizes, then having a few larger bars at some point maybe makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I might not get what I would want to get out of those bars, but like that user mentioned, there is a floor, and I agree with that completely. Eventually, if you go to a local coin shop, they will come to a price on something like that bar. Now, those roosters that I mentioned in my last video, well, that was a slightly different case because the local coin shops just felt that they couldn't move very many of them. So I was able to sell a few. I got less than I wanted, and I could only sell a few. But to move a lot of them, it just took a lot of time. So bars, as long as I'm not in the state of Florida where there are requirements that a dealer holds onto that bar for 30 days or whatever it is before they go to sell it, I could probably sell a lot of gold all at once. And that's the thought that keeps coming to mind. That's the white whale breaching the surface if I'm using that Moby Dick reference. Now, the other idea related to having a gold that's more about weight accumulation is the idea that certain coins are worth more simply because a tiny minority of the population say they are. My local coin shops will give me more for this American Gold Eagle than they will for this Dragon and Phoenix, and actually more than they will for the American Liberty as well, because they have a much larger buyer pool for Eagles. Now, I know that I could probably sell either of these coins to someone I know on Discord for more, but that is not a typical option. And if my goal is weight, then I'm not particularly interested in one-off sales. And if that sell down came, say, 20 years from now, well, this Dragon and Phoenix might be completely obscure. It might not be worth more than, say, a percentage of spot. So that idea of buying something ahead of the secondary market because a small minority of people say that it's worth more, well, that only makes sense if you intend to sell it. And to me, that's really a game for silver. It's a game for silver coins where you spend $30 to make 300. And I'm not saying that that's an easy game, and it's not a game that I'm particularly interested in, but I do think it makes sense and it could be a lot of fun if you're on the right side of it. It just doesn't have much to do with my personal goals of accumulating more weight, particularly more gold weight. So to that question of having a white whale gold coin in mind, well, I guess there'd be an Una and the Lion coin out there somewhere I'd like to have. I think those 2019 Great Engravers Una and the Lion coins have been on eBay for like $20,000. Those proof coins, they look fantastic. I didn't try hard enough when it launched, but I thought it was going to do well, and it did. That's a pretty rare case though, so outside of all of that, I'd settle for a buffalo or an eagle right now, and then someday I'll get serious about those 100-gram bars. So let me know in the comments if there's something you're chasing or if you are more about weight. And while you're there, if you don't mind, hit that like button. That helps get the word out on the channel. And make sure you're subscribed if you'd like to see more on the topic. Now, if you made it this far, thank you again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.